As incisions heal, and you probably know this based upon having a scratch or a cut or something on your own body, that as it heals, it itches. And especially so when we're talking about deep incisions like the ones that our dogs have. As that thing starts to contract and dry up and heal, it is going to itch. How do they soothe themselves? By licking it. So we don't want that, because that's how bacteria gets introduced into the incision, and then there's the potential for infection. So we're going to use the cone collar or an inflatable to prevent them from licking. Now, when your dog comes home from surgery, chances are that they're going to have that big plastic cone collar. They're super cumbersome. My dog could not figure out how to get even down a hallway. He would get himself stuck against the wall. He would get stuck against the floor. He would look down at the floor and then the edge would catch the floor, the tile, and he would get stuck down there. I opted to get rid of that one, and actually I didn't get rid of it. I just put it aside. Don't get rid of it. And I used the inflatable collar. Today I'm going to go over my most favorite options and why I like them, okay? So let's start with this one. This is called the Kong Cloud. This is an inflatable. You just blow this up. Pretty comfortable. The thing that I like about the inflatable cones is that it's almost like a little chin rest for your dog, where when they have a cone-shaped collar, sometimes, especially the plastic one where it's coming down at an angle, when they can't really put their head down very well with that. It also makes it difficult for them to eat or drink when they're wearing a big plastic collar. So this is why I like the inflatable type of collar. Now, there is one major thing that you need to look for when you're buying one of these, and that is that the inside of the collar, the part that's around their neck, has loops. If it doesn't have loops, all it takes is a couple swipes of your dog's paw and that thing is going to be off. If you're not watching your dog at that time, that's where they can start licking. So a word of caution about the inflatable collars is that if your dog has a long snout, sometimes they can still reach the incision. The mistake people make is that they just think that their dog's going to get sent home with the cone collar, and then they find that their dog is miserable. They have no other option. They go to the store and buy an inflatable collar, and then they find that their dog can still reach the incision. So I want you to check this ahead of time. It's super important. So this one is called the Comfurt Collar. I like this because it's mushy. It's kind of like a pillow. Again, your dog could kind of rest their chin on it. They definitely have an easier time eating or drinking wearing one of these versus a cone-shaped collar, especially that plastic one like we talked about. This alone is not enough. You need one of these. Another collar. Why? Because there are loops on the insides here. Can you see those? Those loops? The collar is actually going to get threaded through the loops so that this thing stays on your dog's neck. They can paw at it and it won't come off if this is sized correctly. Big mistake that people make. They use the same collar that they take their dog outside with. So this thing, let's say, might be fitted for your dog when you're walking them outside. If I thread this through the inside of the inflatable collar or the padded collar like this, the problem is that it's so tight, it's like choking them. So you need to make this collar that you use with one of these much longer. Now, if you then take your dog outside with this same thing, now it's loose. What happens? The dog pulls back. Let's say they see a squirrel or something, they see another animal or a person they like. They pull back, they're out of this, and what happens? Your dog's doing zoomies all over the yard. Don't think that because your dog is injured and just had surgery and is limping, that they can't run. They will still do it. Don't give them the chance. So if you have, most of us do, a couple extra collars, you're going to use a longer collar for this type of thing. And you will not use that collar to then take your dog outside. It will be dedicated to this. This is called the Comfy Cone, and this is the traditional little lampshade variety used to replace that nasty thing that the vets give us. This is great because you see how the dog can put its head down? Well, your dog can do that too, because this is flexible, but it's still sturdy. they won't get stuck against the crate walls or against the floor or anything using a collar like this. Again, a dog with a long snout can sometimes still reach the incision. So even though this thing fits around their neck, you might want to choose the next size up. These do come in sizes. All of these come in sizes. You might want to choose the next size up because it not only gets bigger around the neck, but it also gets wider this way. One of the best things that you can do is to prepare your dog ahead of time to the smell of these things, the sounds, the sights. And you'll do that by slowly acclimating them each day. And I'm talking about just a few minutes. Put it on them, let them sniff it first. You can kind of touch it to their neck or their side just so they know this thing is okay, it's not gonna hurt you. Give them some treats, give them a little lovin'. Just make them know that it's okay, it's a safe thing. If the collar itself has Velcro, you might wanna undo the Velcro so they hear it and get used to that sound. And you'll have them just wear the collar maybe a couple times a day for 2 to 3 minutes at a time. Again, so that when you come home from surgery and you take this thing out, they don't freak out and try to escape it. You want your dog to be like, all right, I'm cool with this. I've seen it before, I smelled it, I know it's all good, I can deal with it. So there you have it. That's how you pick out cone collars. Make sure you get two. One thing I didn't say is if you don't have an extra collar and then your dog can reach the incision, that means you're going to have to go back to that plastic one. That's why you're not going to throw it away. But you don't want to have to then go back on Amazon and order one of these if you didn't buy it. Buy two, keep your receipts, keep all the packaging, and if you want to, then you just return the one that your dog is not using. Thanks for watching. If you like these videos, click the subscribe button. I look forward to seeing you next time.